Again, many of the companies would like you to have a vertical stack and buy everything from one vendor. Well, what we've realized in the first platform, impossible. In the second platform, one company couldn't do it all. In this third platform, it would be naive to think that any one company could provide millions of applications to support billions of users and give customers choice without having them be locked in. So what EMC has done is we've organized this loosely coupled group of companies that all are empowered to operate independently, yet encouraged to work together to build robust solutions to help our customers transform to this third platform, but also to thrive and really generate a lot of revenue in this third platform. So if you think of one of the companies is Pivotal. And what Pivotal does, it's an agile application development methodology. So we can quickly develop third platform applications, applications that can take advantage of this big data phenomenon that we're in the middle of. And I'll give you an example. I was on the plane from Sao Paulo to Rio today, and the gentleman sitting next to me said, "You look familiar. Do I know you?" And I said, I don't know. My name is Bill Scannell. And he said, yeah, my name is Kevin something or other. And he said, I'm from Ohio. And I said, well, what brings you to, what are you going to Rio for? He says, I'm in the oil business. Are you in the oil business? And I said, I never really thought about being in the oil business until today, but now that we're opening an oil and gas research facility, I guess, yes, EMC is in the oil and gas business. But he started asking me about EMC and what we do, and I was talking to him about, this third platform and big data. And he said, yeah, we have a lot of challenges with that. He said, we have sensors. They develop technology for platforms of oil rigs, so above the water. And he said, we collect massive amounts of data. And I said, well, what do you do with that data? He said, we try to make good business decisions. We try to figure out, it was around stabilizing the platforms. And he said, if they're not stable, that's not a good thing. And I said, I can imagine. And he said, but what we want to do is be able to predict when there's going to be a failure so we can prevent the failure. And we also want to be able to predict when components are going to fail so we can make sure we have spares locally, because as you can imagine, having spares for an entire oil rig stocked locally is very, very expensive. And I said, great. He said, I said, what's the problem? He said, we have way too much data. He said, we have sensors everywhere, and we're collecting so much data we can't utilize it. And I said, well, that's a big data problem, because you want to be able to utilize that data. You want to be able to reason. You want to be able to ingest it very quickly. You want to be able to reason over that data very quickly so that you make good business decisions and make sure the rigs and the people on the rigs are safe and that the environment is safe. And I said, so I'd be happy to have someone reach out to you and meet with your folks and see if we can't help you develop applications to be able to take advantage of all this information. These sensors are very intelligent. They're collecting this data for a reason. So for you to ignore it is probably not a good thing, and he agreed. But if you think of the Pivotal division, we do agile application development, and then we do big data ingestion and being able to reason over that data. The second company in the federation is VMware. And really, if you think of the trend towards virtualization and software-defined data centers, today, with the amount of servers out there, the amount of information being created, it's very expensive to buy these proprietary servers and storage. People want to use more commodity-like. So VMware is very focused on software-defined data centers and helping to virtualize servers, storage, and networking. And then, of course, EMC is the infrastructure that underlies all of this technology for storing the information, backing up the information, and making sure it's highly available. And then the fourth company within the federation is RSA Security. So making sure that all that information that's being developed, all those applications that are being developed are secure. And we use a lot of big data technology and a lot of Pivotal technology in our RSA with security analytics. The idea of trying to keep the bad guy outside of the networks or outside of your firewalls is a fool's errand. I mean, if they want to get inside your networks or inside your firewalls, they're there. So the philosophy EMC and RSA uses is, let's look for abnormal behavior. Let's look for people who are accessing information that they shouldn't be accessing, or encrypting information within the firewalls and trying to move that outside the firewalls. When we see that, we can actually crack open a packet, look at what's going on. If we don't like the behavior, we can actually shut that user down and make sure that we verify that they are who they say they are, and they're accessing data that they're meant to access. So the company is again, it's loosely federated, but we work together very closely to develop solutions that give our customers, yes, choice, but better together solutions. So again, if you look at all the activity going on with the third platform and all the applications being developed and all this big data and cloud and social and mobility, that's where this federation of companies is very focused on. I met another customer here in Rio today, a large telco provider, and he said, hey, it's great to meet with you. He said, but I will tell you that we're really trying to limit the amount of strategic partners we have. He said, it used to be I had time to meet with 20 or 30 strategic partners. He said, I don't have time anymore. There's so much going on that I've got to significantly reduce the amount of partners I do business with. And he said, I used to have room around the table for 20 people. I have room for maybe 5 strategic partners. And I said, well, we would certainly like to be one of those partners. I said, what are your most important initiatives right now? What are the problems you're trying to solve? And he said, well, most of them you can't do. He said, EMC really doesn't address a lot of them. I said, well, throw them at me. What are you working on? He said, well, server virtualization. We're only 50% virtualized. We want to be 100% virtualized. And I said, well, we own VMware. That's part of the federation, and we can certainly help you with that. And we have the consulting business that can help you deploy that. He said, well, interesting. He said, but then we're trying to do virtualize our networks, but I know you guys don't do that either. And I said, well, we actually do, and that's in the federation as well under VMware. He said, okay, so we're trying to do application rationalization. I know you don't do that. I said, no, we actually do. With Pivotal, we can help you there. Everything he brought up were problems that are common across most of our customer base, and the federation is set up to help them solve those problems, but doing it in a way that they're not locked in, that they have the ultimate choice on who they partner with and who they work with, but we can demonstrate that we deliver very robust solutions that can help them solve real business problems. So again, there's a major transformation in the industry, and EMC is designed with the federation to help solve a lot of those problems. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you folks.